Hello, everybody. We have two people here for Pathways to Adventure. This is John Horry, independent developer, on day something of 100 days. I want to say it's 12 because it's been a lot already. Um, and I'm definitely looking forward to today's game. We have a special guest, my mom, playing Betty Offwhite, a bard, and Rye is coming back, and he is going to be playing an enchanter today to test it out. And so we're pretty excited for it to get started here in a bit. We are looking for a few other players, so if anybody does hop into stream, um, definitely would love to have you come join. Okay, so how is your day gone, Mom?
Well, to be perfectly truthful and honest, I was a slug.
Sometimes that's just the best kind of days.
I got some things done, but I ended up being a slug.
That's
Is
fair.
what it is.
But I can't keep doing that because then I'll be going back to work. And I wish I got all this stuff done
This is
that I
true.
didn't do.
Let me configure ownership for this other character.
So the rules were .05 before, right?
Yeah, I changed it to 0.6 just because we've done a lot of changes since 0.5.
Anything that changed that I
No.
didn't see change it? All right.
Nope, everything's the same from before. Well, I did add the opportunity attack, but I think I already told you about that.
Yeah.
We'll just have you playing Plutie's character for today, just to have something that's not a monk. Switch you over here. User configuration. Oh, it won't let me. I guess because Plutie already is assigned to it. Go to players. Assign. Okay. User configuration. It still won't let me do Plutie. I wonder if I didn't save it. I'm an idiot. Yep, I have to save it. Configuration. Plutie. There we go. Alright, should let you move Plutie around now, I think. So just do that, just to give you some character that's not a turtle monk. So did you have any idea for a particular ancestry that you're mixing with it to try to min-max it, or just...
Oh, this isn't a min-maxed one, but I am going to be a dwarf for at least like the basics of covering your weaknesses.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Let's see. So message me.
I did not realize that dwarves were medium in this system.
Yep, you're still barely medium. Okay, so it is 6:01. So we can just go ahead and get started, and if someone wants to jump in, they can jump in. So let me switch the scene over. Alrighty. So you guys find yourself on a boat, and you are um, attempting to traverse the Sea of Sorrows. And uh, why might you be traversing the Sea of Sorrows there, Mom? What do you think Betty Offwhite would be doing?
Well, are we still by the river?
Well, this is a totally different setting right now. We're just doing a little one shot since we don't have the same people from last time.
Who is this? I don't even see my character.
You don't? She's on a boat right here where I'm pinging.
For what it's worth, I am also not on the boat page. I'm not sure if
Oh,
you activated.
I did not. That is me being dumb. I thought I already did that, and I did not. So it'll switch over now. It might take your computer a little bit, Mom.
Right.
Sorry, I missed what you just said.
I said now I can see. I'm on the boat now.
Okay,
I have
and
that now.
it should let you move around. So,
Betty
so
Offwhite.
expanding
She's
her
on this.
wine empire.
Huh?
Is she expanding her wine empire?
She is. She is. She's looking for new places to grow vines.
To
But,
grow vines, sell her products to the
well,
needy,
you
thirsty
know,
people.
she's been known to take a nip or two.
Yeah.
So she's not sorrowful very often. She's usually pretty chill.
Okay. So she's just chilling on the boat. Um,
Just
okay. There is a ghost at the helm, and it is actually the captain. It is a spirit that actually the helm would probably be more back here. If this was a bigger boat. All right, you have a ghost that is rowing the boat. We'll actually put them here. That's actually a better idea. You have two ghosts that are rowing the boat for you guys with spectral oars and a necromancer that is the captain of the ship. And he had his first mate and one of his other shipmates that passed away, and so he decided that, hey, they still like the life on the sea, so I'm going to turn their spirits into ghosts and let them continue to row the boat and, traverse the waters of the Sea of Sorrows. And they were okay with it. They still had some stuff they wanted to finish in Unlife, and so that's currently where we find ourselves.
Necromancer, I don't recall your name. What was it?
Oh, you could just call me Old Scruff. That's what all the most people used to call me when I had friends.
Hmm. Scruff. I think it's worth clarifying for a bit of a moment. These ghost friends you have who are doing some rowing. Do you
Yes.
believe that they could leave your presence by far?
Well, I could order them to go certain places, and they do have a spirit of their own, you might say, a mind as well. No body to speak of course, seeing as they are spirits. But yes, if you needed assistance when we make landfall, I could potentially rent them out to you for a not too exorbitant fee. They are my friends, after all.
Yes, yes. No, I don't mean that. I mean, does that mean, though, they could make effectively unmanned deliveries via boat over long distance with no need for provision?
Well, were they a bit better at navigating and controlling the ship? It may be, but as far as aquatic-based traversal by themselves, I don't think that would be very possible or safe for passengers especially.
Well, obviously there'd be no passengers, but noted, noted.
But yes, perhaps if I had an army of skeletons, and if I trained them properly on the nautical ways, that might be a simple task to automate, as one might say. You've given me a good idea for that. Thank you, lad.
Oh, no, I haven't given you an idea. That's my idea. You'll have to be consulting me if you are to be using that. Sorry, I fully expect recompense.
Oh, well, aren't we a
In,
bit chipper?
in one way or another.
I love it.
In case it is not obvious, my character's profession is merchant.
Ah, perfect. I love it. I love it. And I'm forgetting what Betty's profession was. Did we go for merchant as well for her since you're doing the wine empire thing? for your background profession? I can't quite remember now.
Could that also
Um,
be an apothecary?
she was just a wine merchant. She was like a wine grower and merchant.
Yeah, so we got two merchants on the high seas. I like it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Alrighty. And so you two, maybe you met because you were both on a business venture looking to her to sell her wine and expand her empire, find new growing regions. And what would be your merchant's reason for being on the boat?
Well, if you mean mine, it's of course to create new trade connections.
I love it. Okay. So everything is going pretty smooth. You guys have been on the boat for about 2 days now. Yeah, it's getting a little boring. Betty's probably been playing some tunes to try to keep things lively. Um, and uh, with that, um, there are treacherous things that do happen along the seas. And I want you guys to give me a perception roll to see during your slow time if you notice anything in the water.
Is perception a subset of intuition?
It is intelligence, and so it should have its own stat under, or not intelligence, it's mind, and it
Yeah.
should have its own
Well, I was
subset
wondering
there.
if there's a related, like, actual skill, right?
Yeah, for perception, the only related skill is the search skill.
I see.
Okay, sorry, let me. So Betty got a 6, nice, and a 1. So for Betty, you immediately are just, kind of lolling about, playing your harp, taking a sip here and there, and you do notice something over here in the water that is very difficult to see, but it is at the very top of the map, and it is moving towards you guys and it is causing the water to ever so slightly kind of what's the word for disturbing the surface of the water? Anyways, whatever that word is, it is doing it, and it does appear to be coming towards you guys. And it's approximately right here where I'm pinging.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And it is making a direct path towards the boat. So what does Betty do?
She's going to observe.
Okay. And so you're just kind of watching it. Hey, it's Pluty. Hey, Pluty.
Hi.
Hi, Bluty.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Tired today, but other than that, I'm doing all right.
Well, good deal.
Nice. Well,
Well, if
we
you
are
intend to
playing.
step in, I'm going to need to step off your token, which I have pirated.
Yep. Do you want to play with us, Pluty, since Mom's here?
You can have me for 1 hour.
I think we could make good use of you for 1 hour. So we will
Okay.
switch your token to a different one. Um, and yeah, it's the same thing as last time to join in, Flutes.
I'm looking, I don't have the number thing.
Should be in a private message.
Oh, I'm looking in the other one. Let me look in the private.
Just
Okay.
throw out any other player thing that I can
Oh,
use.
here's a dwarf. You can play Vigo's dwarf. Well, let me
Sure.
fix everything real quick, actually. Let's see. Figure ownership. Do 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 do.
There it is.
Rymark owner.
Ah,
It's no problem. It
Oops.
lets me take over whoever I want.
Let's see, user configuration. I'd have to move it off. Yeah. So does it let you control blunt force now?
Well, I'm going to make it mine, but yeah, probably.
Okay.
Oh, that is owned by someone. Interesting.
Yeah, it's owned by V, so let me switch it off of V real quick. Vigo.
But I can control it anyway. I just think my roles will not have its name.
Okay, yeah, as long as you can control it's the main thing, so okay. And let me pull Pluty here. So, Pluty, there's not too much to catch you up on. We got two merchant background folks, and you're a royal. And so we're on a boat on the Sea of Sorrows, and there is a necromancer, old captain named Scruff, and he's got his first mate and one of his other lieutenants, or whatever you would call someone that serves on a boat. God, my brain is not working today. Anywho's, it's one of his other pirate buddies from back in the day. He raised them as spirits when they passed away in an old age kind of situation, and they were more than willing to be spirits to continue to row the boat for him. And so that is where we find ourselves. Let me go ahead and make sure you've got control of your character. And her name is Stardust. Always displayed for everyone. There we go. And then we do that for mom's character, always displayed for everyone. We get blunt force, always displayed for everyone.
Oh, perception is just mind skill.
Okay, yeah, I was really hoping I didn't screw that up somehow. All right, so Plutes, go ahead and give me a mind roll of a perception check. So it's just a d6 plus 1 for you, I believe. And Betty definitely
Okay.
saw it.
There it is.
Nope, you
Oh.
did not see it. So there is something moving in the water and it's coming closer and closer to the ship. And for Betty, you can finally see what it is. And let's see if you know what it is. Go ahead and give me another mind roll for a knowledge check there, Betty. Okay, so you have never seen this creature. You are unaware of what it is, but it certainly does not look friendly, as most things in the open water that, race towards ships are.
Can I do a chant?
You can, and you could also just alert people, let them know.
Okay. I think I'm gonna befriend it,
Okay, I like it. So you
and
start
so
to,
I'm gonna befriend it. So hopefully it'll be a friend to us and not me.
okay, and it is coming closer and closer and closer and closer, and then your chant finishes. And so you cast Befriend Creature. And so
Mhm.
let's do 1d6 plus 4 for this guy. And I do believe that does not beat out your stat. And so this creature does become affected by your befriend spell, and you hear with your mind it start to communicate to you. And it says, hungry, so very hungry.
Well, we are not food, so you're gonna have
But
to look elsewhere for food.
where? As it starts to come up and grasp onto the ship, not
Look in the
menacingly.
water. Look in the water. You're our friend. Look in the
I'm
water.
I'm somewhat curious. What's this creature normally hunt? Why is the local ecosystem so broken that it's looking to wooden ships for their meaty contents?
Bad people have been killing the whales. The whales are delicious. Speaking of delicious, my roommate just brought in food.
All right. Well, Narf is gonna at least toss out some minor dried fish style provisions, even though it's barely a snack to this thing.
Yeah, it's definitely. Let's see if you guys recognize what it is. Pluty, go ahead and roll with advantage since it is a creature of some sort. Maybe not a natural creature, but okay. So roll again, take the better of the two. Okay, a 4 plus your survival would be pretty good. So I think your survival's like a +6. So that's a 10. You understand this is a baby kraken doo 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 doo.
Baby
So
Kraken.
it is a baby kraken, and krakens tend to align to be more evil and chaotic. Um, Not always, but thankfully this one has been befriended a little bit, and so it's neutral to you guys right now. It was going to be hostile, but now it is neutral to you guys for the moment at least. And it does seem to very much appreciate the dried fish, and it says, more, more, please, more. Have not eaten in weeks.
Ooh. How far out are we, Scruff, from the shoreline?
I reckon half a day by this point. We're getting pretty close.
I can tighten my belt and throw the rest of the sack of fish to the thing.
Awesome. And it greedily devours them. You can just tell this thing has been starving. Um, it says,
I'll have to,
thank you.
I'll have to buy more provisions on land, but it's worth the lack of issue. You wouldn't happen to have anything worth money to land people, would you? That might be used to exchange for more fish.
Things like shiny rocks and clam.
Yes.
I do have hard stuff from clam. Do you want?
Yes, in fact, I will use that to acquire more food for you, or to fight off or to pay off, to get rid of the people killing whales.
I'll buy it at a high price, it says. No. It starts to cough up about 2,000 gold worth in pearls.
Why was that in you? Never mind.
Clams are tasty, it says. Especially big ones.
Hmm. To wipe them off awkwardly. Well, it's still worth money.
All right. And so the captain looks a bit alarmed and says, aye, there be ships off the starboard bow, about a few knots away. They do appear to be approaching, aye. Little,
Excellent. Flag them down. We need to negotiate.
I don't recognize the flags they be bearing, but hopefully they wish us no ill intent.
Well, all the same, they'll want to board us for what goods we have. No reason to kill us from afar.
Aye, hopefully. Hopefully they mean no bad news for us. Let me get you guys positioned on here real quick. I forgot to do that for the next
Meanwhile,
scene.
we have just barrel after barrel of wine in the back because of Betty here.
Yup. Goes there.
Say that last sentence again. I had to deal with the dog. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just mentioning that we should not forget that we also have barrels of your wine in the back of this boat.
Yeah,
This is
surely
true.
that would some food and supplies for us. Food for the creatures. Restock our supplies.
I'm a dwarf. This can be food in a pinch.
Exactly.
Did I bring any supplies when I came?
Did you?
That's what I'm asking.
I'm
Since
asking
I
you.
came in the oh, yes, I did. Let's see. What could I have brought?
So
I
your
brought
royal
fishing.
outcast.
I brought fishing material. Maybe we could go fishing and try and catch some fish for the kraken.
Yeah, that could maybe work. Where did I put that dang thing?
Oh, I mean, if we have fish in line of sight, I'll just teleport them to this thing's mouth. It seems easier.
Oh,
That works. All right.
okay.
So I will transition us to the next scene.
Magical fishing is easy fishing.
In addition to my wine supply, I also brought a very large chocolate supply. I wonder if the creature has a sweet tooth,
It very well might.
especially since it's a baby.
Okay. So, three smaller boats approach you. And let me put the people on here.
Can we tell if they're friend or foe?
You would have to talk to them to figure that out, but you can always try to use your intuition to see what they might be up to, or if they look friendly.
And how do
Yeah.
we do that?
You would do an intuition roll, which by default is your mind stat. Ooh, nice.
Right. That's a 12.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, another 6. Nice. So, they appear to be trying to act friendly, from a distance, but almost a little too friendly. Almost a little bit like they're trying to bluff. Um,
I think, thank you.
and the one that comes to the front is this old man named Kaching, and Kaching looks at you guys and says, "Hmm, folks, new opportunities. I see you are carrying mighty loads of something. What do you have to trade?"
Hmm. Well, if you were to. You are whalers in this region, yes?
Oh, that is but some of our business propositions that we like to trade in. Whales are quite valuable for their precious ambergris. That's
You
their
don't.
stomach
Vast,
puke.
you don't use the vast amounts of meat that they have?
Oh, of course we do that too, but the ambergris is where the real value is. It makes lovely perfumes, you see.
I see. And you have not considered giving the meat to the Krakens as a sort of security payment?
Krakens? What do you speak of? We have seen no krakens. Lying through his
They're
teeth.
very angry with you. If you want, I could try to negotiate a treaty with the creatures. However, if you left to your own devices, I wouldn't be surprised if they attack you any minute now.
Oh, I assure you that would be no trouble. I have 6 of the finest guards with me. Excellent guards, in fact. Ignore the fact that they're half dead on some of these tokens.
So they are not literally like they just are coming from a fight.
Yeah, I'm totally have to fix that. It just had whatever the tokens had last time. So let me just fix their health points real quick. Yeah, they had a pretty deadly fight, and some of them died. So that was about 7 months ago, actually, when that happened. Um, Umber right here is Vigo's old character that he had a lot of fun playing. Alrighty. So, um, Kaching definitely is shady as heck, and it's very obvious that he is by this point to you guys. Um, you kind of got a hint of when he said 6 of the strongest guards, uh, that he's definitely used them before. And he continues to barter with you guys and says, "So, back to my original inquiry. What trade are you plying with all those lovely barrels?"
Well, we have fishing equipment if you're interested.
Oh, we leave that to the lesser folk of the island. They tend to enjoy the fishing and are quite good at it.
I have a few bars of chocolate.
Oh, chocolate, you say? I do enjoy a good chocolate. Uh,
Oh, it is
what
the finest.
style?
Hmm, what?
Dark milk chocolate?
Oh, dark, of course.
Oh, I do prefer milk, but dark will do in a pinch.
Well, I probably have some milk chocolate as well.
Who can afford the sugar these days?
Oh,
I
we
have
actually
five.
have a bunch of sugar cane on the island, thankfully. It does help my sweet tooth out quite a bit. He smiles and you see he's missing a lot of teeth and definitely has some cavities going on there. And he said, "So, what is in the barrels, though? I see you have quite a lot of them." He kind of wrings his hands a little bit.
The barrels are not for trade or sale.
Oh, okay. I was just inquiring. I might be able to help you find a buyer on the island.
Well, I'm not quite ready for that, but I will give you some bars of chocolate just to be a friend.
Oh, well, that is quite generous of you, but sorry to beleaguer the point, but I really must insist for your safety, you see. Some people on the island are quite ruffians, and were you to bring, I don't know, a certain type of beverage to the island, it might cause problems. You see, the laws there, it is a dry island, so we haven't had any alcoholic beverages for quite some time, you see.
Well,
Interesting. Are you religiously prohibitionist?
Oh, gods no, we're fairly don't tote with religion on the island. It's just the big kahuna once lost a good friend to alcohol, and ever since has banned its use and sale.
but I have not said that there's alcohol in these barrels.
It could be water for our consumption.
It could be.
Oh, well, that is a
You're,
lot of water for such a short journey. And your reputation does precede you, Betty.
Hmm.
yay.
He seems a little bit more menacing when he says Betty. And you hear Scruff from the back say, "Ah, I don't like where this is heading."
I must admit, Eddie, they bring forward a reasonable argument. Were you transporting illicit goods without notifying the rest of us?
Would I do that?
Would I do that? You would probably not know that it has been banned if this guy is being truthful, which is very much up in the air at this point. But yeah. And then you hear a voice in your heads that is not vocal but telepathic once again. Can can I eat them?
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
you can.
Yeah, right ahead and working. Gobble them up.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean, Eddie, don't get too excited on it, although, yes.
Although, yes, I love it. All right, so he sinks beneath the waves, and you start to see the water billow a little bit over here. And Kaching says, "Now I'm sure that we could come to some arrangement with your cargo to ensure its safety, and I do know a fence or two that might be able to sell it for you under the table, if you understand my meaning. So,
Oh,
We're
thank you.
not
Thank you
interested,
so
thank you.
much.
Yeah.
oh,
I
but I
truly,
do
truly worried.
insist."
I truly believed for a moment that I would feel guilty about the kraken that's about to kill you. But
The
now
what?
you've alleviated all concerns.
All right, and the tentacles hit the boat and starts to tip the boat. Don't rock the boat, baby. Kraken. And it starts to sway and everything, and they immediately begin to attack the Kraken. And so the Kraken does get its tentacles around Kaching, and it does attempt to pull him off the boat. Let's see if this old man can somehow avoid his fate. That is not enough, so Kaching does go off the boat into the water and into the gullet of the baby Kraken. And the six guards look at each other suddenly and start freaking out a little bit and immediately start attacking this thing. This one has a rifle and goes to shoot it. This one has a bow and starts shooting arrows at it. This one starts lobbing axes and gets a bit closer. This one over here also jumps from one boat to the other with one leap.
Does
And
anybody have a protection spell for the Kraken?
So,
I lost you.
I think he's thinking.
No, dear.
can you hear me clearly?
Now I can,
Yes.
yeah.
Interesting. In any event, if we are in initiative, I have many ways to help out this kraken.
It depends if you guys want to interrupt the fight and jump in, or if you're just watching it unfold.
Okay,
At this point, the Kraken's overwhelmed.
It does seem
With
that way. It's not bleeding out yet, but it has taken some hits. It's got some arrows sticking out of it, a few axes.
I think we need to be proactive in
So
helping.
I'm going
Kraken.
to put to sleep a lot of them. Because
Okay.
that's extremely good.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll need something up my sleeve as well.
I
Okay.
can hit 4 of them. Yeah, I can hit these 4 with a blanket sleep cast.
That would be a really good one. I like it. All right, and I'll have to try to resist your very high spell resist or
Can we
potency.
tell the baby Kraken that he needs to dive deep?
The one that's in the Kraken's stomach?
No, just the baby Kraken, because he's our friend.
Do you want to tell him to dive underwater, you mean?
Yeah, because I would like to try Sonic Boom.
Oh, okay. I like that. So,
But we need him out of the way so he doesn't get hurt too.
yep, so you think to yourself, if only we could tell the Kraken to dive without it alerting the other people, and the Kraken says, okay, and it dives.
Okay. So now can I do my Sonic Boom?
Yeah, we're going to roll initiative though, since you guys are wanting to intervene. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's your attunement score from your spirit. So it should be a +5 or 4 for you, Betty. Nice. So Plutes is definitely going first. And I will roll for them. And they rolled pretty low, so they will be going last. It's going to be Stardust. Then Rye. Betty. And then Pirates. Okay, so Umber told us the order because I clicked on the wrong thing. Let me see if I can fix
Can
that.
I inflict grasping roots to hold them in their places so they can't throw, like to hold their arms and things still
So
so they can't throw?
it prevents their movement, but
Axes?
it doesn't prevent their use of their limbs other than their feet.
Okay.
It's like you grasp all the way up to their legs. Okay, so Stardust is up. You see the
I'm
Kraken
thinking.
has dove. Yep, no rush. And if you want, you can always lower your initiative down to Rye or Betty or both to do a team up turn if you want to let them go first. I know Rye's got
Yeah,
a really powerful spell planned.
I have many possible options that are all very
I think I'm
effective.
going to do an attack chant. That way they can go ahead and do theirs, and then the next round I'll have my attack
Okay.
ready.
All
So
right, so which chant?
I'm going to do the elemental bolt.
Okay.
Okay.
I did switch Elemental Bolt and Barrage to both be +10 instead of one being +5, so it is a lot more accurate now. And so when it resolves, you can choose your target. Um, let's see
I'm going to
here.
hit the middle boat, the one that's closest to us.
Well, we
Okay.
can decide when we get there.
Yeah,
Okay,
for
that's
sure.
true.
All right, so that is Stardust turn. You start to chant Elemental Bolt. And then Rye. You want to do Sleep, is that correct, on the 4 of them?
All right, if you can attack them from far away, I'll take care of all the ones that are closer, if that seems reasonable.
I can do that.
Okay. I am willing to. Yeah, I'm willing to blow one of my 5 uses a day to give these 4 disadvantage on their sleep roll.
Wonderful. All right, so I gotta roll a d6. Ooh, that's low. Oh, yeah. So they are definitely asleep. All of them, because their mind stat was not their strongest. They have no, from what you can tell, none of them appear to be mages. They all appear to be more martial focused. One person perhaps could be a bit more divine, like a cleric amongst their group, but the rest of them all seem to be weapon users, and they all fall asleep. And
Focus
one
on the
fell
other
asleep.
two for now. You don't want to wake those four up and cause unnecessary problems.
This was so funny. I did not see this encounter like coming like this at all, and this is really, really fun. I love it. All right, so they all fall asleep, and that is Rise spell on his turn. Betty.
Okay, so I'm gonna do Sonic Boom.
Okay. And I believe they're actually close enough that you can
I
hit
have
all of
dog
them.
aggro. I'll be right back.
Okay. Let me measure. Uh, nope. So you would have to hit a certain group of them. It looks like you could hit those 5 that are right here, but
Okay,
you'll
I'll
get
do
to aim
that.
it on your turn for the next turn. And so the
Mhm.
pirates go, as their turn is now finally here. One of them, seeing both you and Pluty's character, Stardust, start to chant, um, they take careful aim at you and try a precise shot. Well, and missed terrifically. And so it goes astray. The boat that they're on kind of tips and bows a little bit from the Kraken, moving up from under it. As the Kraken uh, has kind of moved over here and bumped the boat a little bit. Um, just in time for you to not get shot. Then it does a flurry, a barrage of 3 shots, just trying desperately to hit you. That's 2. So 7 barely does not hit. That does not hit. And that does
I'm
not
back.
hit. Welcome back.
You're back.
Do I get to
So,
do my own?
almost. So, it will be the top of the round in just a moment. One of the guys on the boat just decides to jump off and start swimming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then spends a stamina point. 2, 3, 4, 5, and gets onto the ship and seems a little exhausted from it. So that is its turn. It doesn't want to spend all of its stamina in one place. Um, you hear Scruffy go, "Uh, should I have the boys assist you in the fight?"
They didn't sign up for that.
"Okay, I'll hold them back for a little bit, but if you need me, I don't mind helping against some ruffians. I actually think I know this guy from back in the day. He was a right bastard. I hope he does end up as Kraken food."
Oh, by all means, then.
All right, so it is now the top of round 2 with Stardust.
So who do you guys want me to attack?
The
I
one
have
that's
So,
3.
right next to us feels very pressing, but also those 4 are asleep, so it's really just the one dangerous one right now.
The
and
one
then the
that's in
archer
our
up
boat.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to attack the one that's in our boat.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your attack and give it a plus 14 or 15. I forget what you're. Oh, well, never mind. You hurt a lot. All right, so uh, just check the damage of your ability, and then you get to double it.
Was this barrage?
It was bolt.
Lightning bolt.
So you shoot a lightning bolt.
Conjuring lightning bolt.
Yep. And so read the damage on it. It should say spirit plus something. I believe it's plus 9, but
Well, it was elemental bolt, so it's plus 10.
to hit. The
What's
damage will,
that's to hit.
yeah,
Where does it say what the damage is?
it'll be to the right of it.
Oh, spirit plus 6.
Okay, so you do 9 damage times 2 is 18 damage to this gentle person right here. And so let me figure out his hit points because it didn't put it on here. Okay, so you did 18 damage. Not bad for a basically free spell. All right, and so you still have your turn. What do you decide to do next?
Well, doesn't it hit 3 times?
Oh, were you wanting to do the bolt or the
That's
barrage
what I said,
rather?
elemental bolt.
Oh,
So
maybe for
the
later.
confusion
But
is that
if
elemental
it's
bolt is the single one.
or no, you need my password. Oh, okay. Sorry, my
Oh,
roommate popped in.
it says elemental barrage on the thing, but then on the recite it says elemental bolt.
Oh,
3
that's
times.
where you were confused. Okay, yeah. So you attack 3 times at this guy, and we're just going to use that same roll for all 3 just to speed things up. And so that is 18 times 3 is enough to actually finish this guy off. I do believe. Let me do the math. I think it's exactly what you need to finish him off, actually. So you do 3 bolts of lightning that strike this guy. And I forgot to actually tell you, he is in plate armor, which you have advantage when attacking enemies in plate armor with lightning attacks. So, because they're more conductive. And so you would have got to roll twice and take the better, but you already crit, so it doesn't matter. And so this guy goes down into death's door and is very injured. And that was a awesome turn. All right, so Rye, you're up next.
Honestly, I'm not terribly convinced that we need to do anything much at this stage. We got those 3 that are sleeping there. So I am going to use telekinesis to pull their boat 6 distance closer because I can move objects with it.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm going to just pull their boat of those 3 sleepers right alongside ours,
Okay, I
such that
like
we
it.
can gently look at them and consider what to do with them.
Okay, so they are right up against you guys now. Can't move the boat because it's a static image, but it's now right beside you guys. I like that. Telekinesis is fun. And I believe you can maintain that as long as you're concentrating on it, right?
For 6 rounds, I believe.
Perfect. Alrighty. And so, anything else on your turn?
No, that takes it all.
Okay. And Betty, you're up. So you were preparing Sonic Boom. These guys are close enough for you to hit them while they're asleep if you wish. Otherwise, you do have one non-sleeping person over here. And so, what does the party feel is the best option?
So, I mean, obviously it's up to everyone to do what they want to do. I think the people sleeping peacefully next to us aren't currently a threat.
But how long do they sleep?
I believe it's for a significant period of time. Let me double check that.
It's not currently stated in an easy to reference way.
Yeah, because it's not concentration. Let's see here. Yeah, so for sleep, they are definitely asleep for a good while. Um, Probably at
Um,
least an hour. I just need to specify.
Hearing loud noises does kill the state, admittedly.
This is true. This is true. So making a boom will wake them up.
Although I didn't try to step on your toes like that, it just didn't occur to me.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. I didn't even think about that either. There was something else I was going to look up super quick. What was it? I'll remember it later. Okay. So, Betty, do we boom or do we not boom? Boom will wake up 4 people, but it will also hurt 4 people. Um, this might be one of those rare instances where you decide to not use a chant and switch to a different one. What do you think?
Yeah, I was just looking.
You do
I
have your
think I'm just,
enthrall spell.
huh?
I said you do also have your enthrall spell. Decisions, decisions.
I think I am going to choose to do nothing for right now.
Okay, just kind of assess the situation. I will say you do still have an archer over here that is still aggressive towards you guys, if that helps make your choice.
Well, I was just
Honestly, it feels like they'd be suicidal to keep attacking us.
Very possibly. Alrighty,
I'm
so,
just gonna observe.
okay. So it is the pirate's turn, and the archer is very much questioning their life choices and whether this is worth a payout. And she shouts across the way, "Aye, we surrender. He wasn't really paying us exactly the top of wages either, and I don't reckon we're going to be able to save him from the Kraken. And he was kind of a right bastard, if you ask me." And so she capitulates and she gives up. We have three people sleeping in a boat right beside us,
I
and
make I make a gesture with the pearl with one of the pearls I have to the archer, and gesture for her to come over.
okay, so she rows the boat over, making it even with the other boat, walks across.
All right, I toss the pearl to her. Or at least one of the pearls. This thing vomited pearls.
Okay.
All right, can you tell us a bit about the whaling industry over here?
One thing to adjudicate real quick, we do have a guy that's dying currently right here. I don't know if you guys wanted to save him or if you want to let him die.
They said
Let him die.
They said Epo was a white bastard, as I recall.
Oh, sorry, not Epo. The I
The one
totally
who
did
was
that.
dead.
Yeah, the one who's dying. They meant
I thought I killed
the.
him.
No, you knocked him into death's door. They meant Kaching is the right bastard. Sorry, I should
Ah,
have been
fair
more
enough.
clear.
In any case, Epo. Well, if Epo's friends think we should save Epo, then I'm all aboard. But if Epo's friends think Epo was a bad person, I'm not going to force the issue.
Gafu over here says, "Oh, Epo regularly donates their time at an orphanage. They like to build houses for the homeless."
All right, let's see what I've got. Do. I am one of the few people in this world who does not have the ability to heal. It'll be on to their immune system.
Yep. So Betty and or Pluty, or excuse me, Stardust, do either of you decide to heal, or are we letting nature take its course?
Mm, I'm not convinced that he's a good person.
I'm not
Yeah.
either. I
Do you want to
agree
use
with
your
nature.
intuition?
Mm-hmm.
All right, roll me a mind roll. It's just a d6 plus 2 for Betty. All right. So you get the intuition that obviously Gafu's overselling it, but they do legitimately care for Ipo and are trying desperately to get help for them. Um, and so that's kind of what you're grokking.
Well, they might care about him, but that doesn't make him a good person.
Exactly. So we just don't know. So it's up to your moral judgment.
I say let nature take its course.
I agree.
All right. And you do hear behind you, Scruff goes, "Oh, looks like a sturdy one would make a good zombie." All
Scruff,
right.
I thought you said that people had to opt into that.
Well, I mean, zombies are a little bit of a different. Okay, he stabilize. That's too
All right.
funny. All right, at one health point, Epo's like, "Oh, oh my God, I think I had a heart attack. What did you put in those lightning bolts?"
Lightning.
Lightning.
I want to have a chat with you. It's not important. Just like when you have time.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, so Epo is alive, thankfully, and with no help from you guys. But Epo kind of gets up, dusts themselves off, looks around, and says, "Well, looks like our patron has become Kraken food. So I guess we have no more business to do with you guys here. Um,
That's not
apologies."
quite right. I need an explanation on local operations here.
Oh,
I,
do tell.
I nod at Gafu. I paid already up front.
Yes, 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 you did. Okay. Well, you didn't finish off Epo here, so I suppose I do owe you, plus the pearl. Whaling has been an industry that's picked up recently. I'm not entirely sure why, but someone is paying very high good amounts for particular goods from whales. Um, it's a mystery to me who, but our patron, who is very much digested at this point, possibly could have been able to answer that question. But I'm sure when you make landfall, you might be able to suss out somebody. Now, if you'll
So,
excuse us, they hop back on the boat and they start rowing off and they collect their other friend over here.
oh, and
And
one more thing. Is this place actually a dry island?
oh god no, there's booze everywhere. In fact, it goes for a very high price despite not being illicit.
Hmm.
Ta-ta! And they leave. And then Betty Sonic blasts them all. No, I'm just kidding. Awesome. And so, not long after that, Baby Kraken appears. Can I eat them? So hungry.
Go for it.
You just ate one of them.
But it was nothing but skin and bone. And a lot of metal. And it spews up 2,000 golden coins.
I'll see what I can do.
It looks quite clean from the acid wash, at least.
I feel like there
Awesome.
might be a market in using these krakens to purify and sort metals, but that's another time.
I love it. So it says, so you guys said go for it, right?
I didn't.
No, we didn't say he could eat the rest of the people.
Yeah.
That was me.
I'm going to go see if I can just pay them for some food for you.
Okay. I will be waiting very hungrily. And it disappears beneath the waves. The ghostly rowers resume their positions. And the boat ride continues on, unabated. Alrighty. So do you guys do anything else as you approach landfall?
No.
Count
Well,
them.
should we do some kind of an inquiry as to what we're going into?
Well, the people that you could have inquired are gone, but you could ask the boat captain.
I mean, do we know anything about this city that we're going to? Other than that, they will pay a high price for the wine that we have, and but we don't really know, like, if they're a pirated town. Are they ruffians? Is it like a civilized town?
Go ahead and roll a knowledge check, just a mind check plus your d6, and let's see what you might know. So 4, so 5, okay. Alrighty. Why is it showing up with that name? That's weird. Oh, yeah, because you would have changed the name. That's right, okay. And then... I'm having trouble finding you. Oh, yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
have
not
to go here in
strings.
a little bit.
Okay. Alright, so you guys come upon the shore. So I'm gonna activate that new thing. Put the ghost there. Every time we do a new scene, I have to add you guys to it. I probably should just copy and paste you from one to the other now that I'm thinking about it, but that would make too much sense. Alrighty. So you guys come ashore onto a beach that's fairly deserted at this point. Um, and with your knowledge rolls, you know that this is a pirate-run town. And so there is a head pirate that generally keeps everything in order. She's a very strong-willed woman, a Goliath of quite large stature, very pale of skin, and she basically runs the place. It's a little bit of a might makes right system, but she's actually pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Pretty sophisticated with her rule. She keeps everything very orderly, but it's a very much a iron fist type order. You know, if you step out of line, she's going to get you. So, and you get that confirmed by Scruff. He says, I usually don't approach the city proper because they, well, pirates and whatnot, but it is a small traversal to the northeast of here. You will find the location you seek. Um, I do hope that you can manage to get your barrels there. Again, I do wish I could get you closer, but it is a very, very big risk for me. What with being a necromancer and all that, and having spirits, they don't really take kindly to that in most civilized places, even pirate towns.
Well then.
Okay.
So how are
I
we
guess
getting
we're
your
going
wine
to.
bottles?
You
Can
said
you
the
tell us where
zombies.
from?
Do you think you could Oh yes, they made it. No zombies. Never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they were dead, there would be some zombies, but he says, well, if you can dig up some old bones around here, I might be able to whip up some skeleton lads to help you out. Or I saw you do something with your mind earlier that looked quite impressive.
Oh, I could of course just move the barrels myself, but it's pretty taxing. I
Ah,
wouldn't want to
gotcha.
get too far.
Can you use your telepathy to see if there's any bones in the area?
I, it's not exactly how it works, but I mean, 1 second. See if I can do something like that.
So while this is going on, and you guys are conversing about, trying to find a good way to offload your goods onto the shore and traverse the, about at least mile or 2 miles away that the location is at, you do hear something quite large coming across the dunes from the northwest, or northeast, excuse me, and it appears to be an exceptionally large, slightly hunky giant. And it does
Really?
appear
Hello.
to be coming towards you.
How fares?
It stops for a second and says, It fares well. How fares you and yours?
Look back, nod.
This is good on this wonderful day. I see you have much cargo with you.
I see you have much muscle with you.
Indeed, he kind of flexes his pecs a little bit. I am quite proud of my physique and my base tan. And he comes a little bit closer. And he says, What cargo do you carry? What liquids be in those barrels?
That's alcohol. Well, to be clear, what's it to you?
I do have quite a mighty thirst. I see you have 8 barrels there. Perhaps we could make a trade? My muscle for 1 barrel to quench my thirst on this hot, hot day.
To be drank after he delivers.
Oh, but I am so parched at the moment. I worry my muscles might shrivel up before I even make it back to the city.
But you could be drunk and then not be able to carry it.
Oh,
We agree.
gods no. It would
Well,
take
last
more
year,
than that.
If you're so
last,
very parched, perhaps the water up front and the wine after might be reasonable.
What were you saying,
the
Betty?
last, huh?
I was saying, what did you say, Betty? I didn't quite hear.
carries the first 7 barrels off the boat. Then the last one is his.
Off the boat, you say? Well, that's agreeable. And he says, as he splashes in the water, do be careful, I don't wish to rock your boat too much. And he carries all the barrels over to here, one by one, or excuse me, four by four,
My
and sits
question
them
is,
down.
what do we do with the barrels after he gets them off the boat? That's my next question.
So I would have had him carry him all the way to the town.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. But when I look at the map, I'm like, there's nothing. There's just nothing there.
Yeah, it's
Well,
kind of theater of the mind at this point for where the city's going to be. It's going to be about a mile to 2 miles northeast of the map right
But
now.
you must carry the barrels to the town,
Oh, but
and,
of course. And
and
he picks up.
the number 8 barrel, the last barrel on the boat, is yours.
Oh, why,
And we'll
thank you.
follow. We'll
How
follow
about
you.
how about I drink half of the barrel now and I'll drink the rest later, so you don't have to worry about me becoming too imbibed.
1 barrel is water. You can drink all the water you want,
He goes
but the
ahead and
last
grabs the eighth barrel that has the wine.
no,
He
that's
said,
not part
that's
of it.
not what we agreed on. Pops the cask and starts to chug it.
Okay, so
Oh
but
my
There's
goodness, this is a fine vintage. Where does
Narf
this
is
come
sitting here
from?
laughing.
I love it. So he asks, where's this vintage?
it's a secret.
I haven't tasted wine this fine since my youth.
It
Shouldn't
comes
have been
from
drinking wine in your youth.
it comes from a land far, far away.
Ah, I see. Well, this will fetch a very high price here. You're very lucky you ran into me and not some ruffian of ill repute. He flexes his muscles and says, well,
That
I did make an agreement and I shall honor it. And he stumbles over just slightly, a little bit tipsy, and picks all 7 of the remaining barrels up, hoists them on his shoulders, and says, well, shall we?
shall we
Oh,
enter a side?
my apologies. Introductions are in order. I am Svarnir.
Oh, a pleasure, Svarnir. I'm Enarf.
Eve,
And I am
a fine name.
Stardust.
One
Stardust.
bit.
And then you say Betty, and he says, wait, the Betty?
Hey, Betty, off-white.
No wonder this wine is so fine. Your name has even reached here. This will sell for even a higher price. Oh, you tempt me to be a ruffian, you do. This would fill me for a full year worth of finest meats. But my word is my honor, and my honor is my muscles. Should I break my honor, I would just what's the word?
Shrivel up.
I would shrivel up and die. So he picks up all the barrels and starts walking.
I
And
have to
we're
go,
walking.
John.
Yeah, I figured you did. So we could call it there, or we could keep playing. It's totally up to you guys. I know we've got Betty still for a bit. What do you guys feel?
I'm, I'll go.
Good night.
Night,
You
Fleety.
night, Flutie.
Good
You kind
night.
of cut out there, Mom.
I said, good night, Fleety.
Before that, as far as yeah, she just left. Um, as far as continuing onwards or calling it there, what did you want to do, Mom?
It's not, it doesn't matter to me. I'll go with whatever you two guys want to do.
Okay. Yeah, we can keep going then. And
I,
so,
cer- I certainly was expecting to be here 2 hours.
okay,
Okay.
that works. Alrighty. So, Flutie says that for her part, she is going to go try to find a particular merchant friend that she knows came before her, and that she wishes you all well on your journey, and that she hopes to see you in the town. And so she will off screen herself. All right. Go to the next map. And so the island is quite large, and though it is desert beach, at this point, it does actually end up going into a bit more of a carnivorous forest as you get a bit further in. Um, Let me get this scene set up, and I'm going to try to copy paste so I can not have to do a whole bunch of crap. Copy. Oops. Paste. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we will transition the scene. Hopefully it transitions. It's going a little slow.
Has it not loaded for you?
No, it's loaded for me. It just looks like for Mom it's taking a little longer with her computer. What's it doing on your end, Mom?
It's just a very, it's just a gray screen, but it's at 98%.
Okay. Yeah, if it doesn't load in, just...
Don't you hate how they always seem to lie about that last 2%?
I know.
It's
I
like,
know. Okay, there we go. I'm going to take just 1 minute real quick to go grab a drink out of the fridge. Do you guys need to take a quick little break too, or?
yeah,
I might as well grab a cup of tea if you're doing something similar.
Yep, that'll work. We'll be right back in just a bit.
For what it's worth, I exist.
Well, you probably hear the pig. She's back in.
I hear.
Oh my goodness, Emma, it's not that bad. Just chill.
Emma. Emma.
She can't hear you.
Emma. She can't.
No, I got you on my headset. She's
Sounds
starting
like
to. Oh, go on. Sorry, I missed what you said.
I was gonna say it sounds like she's trying to inhale the mic, but
Yeah, she does kind of sound like that sometimes. Yeah, she's at the point of the year where she starts to shed her hair, and for pigs, it's real thick, thick hair, and it's not fur, so she's just getting it everywhere. But all right, we'll transition back to scene. Awesome. So you guys are led through a very green and quite nice forest, and you come upon a fortress, or excuse me, a fort. And your friend Schvarnir says that this is one of the stopping points where they like to inspect goods and make sure everything's legitimate. And let's see, somebody there. That is currently where you find yourselves.
I see. Svarnir, what do you know about the whaling here, and who regulates and controls this place?
Oh, the whaling. It has increased a lot in the last few months. I'm not sure why, but I do believe that Merylveb would be the one to seek out about that. She is the de facto ruler of the Cutlass Coast, is what this place is referred to as.
Hmm. Anything we should know as we go through the checkpoint?
Oh, nothing. As long as you're not carrying any drugs, it should be just fine.
Well, none save alcohol.
Yep. All right, so
I make sure that no one has stashed anything on me.
yep, nothing is stashed on you if you're on the up and up. So, Betty, what do? He's still carrying your barrels and kind of sits them down. You see a very menacing looking Dark Knight come out to inspect the goods. Um, he is very quiet. He has not said much of anything to you.
So, are there people that would be interested in possibly purchasing my goods?
Are you asking that to the giant, to Svarnir, or to the Black Knight?
The giant.
He says, "Oh, most assuredly." He hiccups, especially with a vintage like yours.
Someone that can be trusted?
Well, trust is a very uh, rare commodity here. Most people prefer to verify than trust, you see, and have contingencies.
And how would we do that?
Um, Most people would buy their way into security, you see. Others, use their threat of force. Um, it is. There are many ways to skin a cat, one might say. Although I do think that would be a horrific process. Skinning a cat. Where does that phrase even come from?
Do you have any suggestions?
Oh, I don't barter much myself. I tend to be a laborer, as you can imagine, flexes his muscles.
Well, but do you know someone who is fairly trustworthy that you think would be a good barter?
Oh, there's no one here that I can trust as far as I can throw them, and I can throw them quite far. I guess that analogy does not work for me. Um, there is one
So,
goblin. His name, ironically, is Goblin. Not goblin, but gobbling, like eating a whole bunch. He's quite rotund, you see.
Yes. Well, but if you want to leave me ground game to me, as it were, I can do some peddling.
Oh,
okay,
by all
so
means.
where can we store them safely for now?
Oh, I suppose you could rent a carriage. They tend to have
And
them here at the uh,
and
crossroads.
put and put them where?
In the back of the
Where
carriage, of course.
but then where would we put the carriage? I need a safe place so we can barter.
Oh, if you
Well,
want full security, I'm not sure that's available this far out of civilization.
I'm just wanting the safest place possible.
he says, when you get to the city, there are safe storage locations that you may, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Not lock up, but secure your goods.
Okay, so we're
They are
not
fairly
staying
reputable.
so we're not staying the night at the fort, we're going on to the city.
Well, that is certainly your decision. I personally would not recommend traveling at night. There are ne'er-do-wells, as well as the potential of undead and other particular island-dwelling beasts that might cause harm in the dead of night. But that is up to you. If you wish to secure your goods quickly, perhaps traveling through the night might be a wise choice. I leave that
Well,
decision to you.
if I were to rent a carriage, could I hire you to go with the carriage for protection?
Um, hmm. Despite my amazing physique, he flexes, he says, I am actually a little bit hesitant to engage in combat with the lessers. Um, I
How
do
so?
feel it. You see, we are honor bound to fight the strong, and to step upon the weak is against my religious views.
Well, you don't have to step on them, just probably this side of you would help.
Unfortunately, I am well known as a pacifist among these parts. You see, when you're this tall, and flexes, and this beautiful, word gets around.
So you're a giant wimp?
I do not agree with that statement. I choose
No,
passivity because of my strength, you
it was a
old
question.
witch.
It was a question, not a state.
I love it.
A bit of a leading question there, Betty.
A little bit.
Honestly, I think as long as we keep an eye open, we should be able to get through the night. We'll see
Hmm.
what we get at once we hit proper civilization.
We shall see. A lot can happen, and there's lots of places to hide.
True. You can't live your life worrying about everything.
So the knight comes up to you and says, so, I've counted the barrels. What is in them?
Liquid,
Do not be coy with me, woman. Tell me true. What is in the barrels?
water.
I will inspect them and see if you are being truthful.
Well, one of them is water.
Ah, so now the truth comes out. Speak truly the whole truth.
Okay, it is wine.
Ah, wine trade. Words. Wine trade, you say? A fine commodity. Should sell for a good price. I will ensure that it is safe while it is kept here. I assume you wish to pay for lodgings for the night?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I'm not sleeping on the ground.
That will be 300 gold coins, please. And you know that's kind of highway robbery.
Mm-hmm.
I pay him 450. I
Ah.
look at him straight in the eye, and I say, "You do know that we have a lot of faith in this establishment, and we would be deeply upset if you failed in your protective duties."
Oh, of course, of course. I will assure you that no harm will come to you. At least not harm that I will attempt to protect you from. Knight's honor.
Why did you arrange your oath to be the worst possible oath? Are you a very creature bound to speak only in truth and stumbling over yourself?
I love it. He kind of glowers at you behind his silver mask and just kind of walks off. You have my word, that is good enough for me. And he starts
That was
preparing
the
dinner.
worst word I've ever been given as a sign of. Well, no matter.
I love it. All
I'll,
right.
I'm going to not sleep. We'll take a carriage out on the way back, and I will
I love it.
sleep in the carriage.
I love it. So you decide not to stay here. Okay.
Well,
Um,
that's staying here, right? Like, but I'm still not sleeping here.
oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. So you wait until the morning. Okay. So Betty, what do
That's
you
only
decide to do?
So none of us are sleeping inside the fort.
I'm
That's up
not.
to
I
you.
recommend one of us sleep. If you're not sleeping, I'm going to.
Well, what? Sleeping, if I'm not going to sleep where?
At the fort.
Period. Are you intending to travel through the night on your own?
No, I'm afraid of the dark.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay inside the fort.
Yep. Are you sleeping today?
Am I going to sleep?
Yes.
Yes, I'm an old lady. I need my sleep.
All right.
Cool.
Well, I am not then. I'll see you in the morning. Wake me if there's trouble on the carriage.
Okay, just to see what happens, so I don't control the situation, let's roll a dice and see what happens. Go ahead and just roll a d6.
Hang on. So no one's out going to sleep with the carriage?
Now he
Oh, I'm
when
watching over the goods inside the fort.
Do what?
I'm watching over the goods, presumably loaded inside the fort.
Okay.
the knight continues his vigil, he's walking up and down the guard posts.
God, the oath he gave was so bad. It was, I won't let anything happen that I don't want to happen to them. Okay, fine.
It was pretty bad. I stumbled over my words a little bit. What I meant to say is, I'll protect you from what I can, but no promises
Okay.
about stuff I can't. So,
Yeah, what he said was, I'll protect you from what I want to.
uh,
No promises.
no wonder you were extra salty about it. I was like, wait a minute, I thought I said something different, though. That's funny. All right.
I
Um,
missed you attracted the bot.
let me see something real quick. Oh, great. This person has been hacked. Sorry, I had a Discord message and turns out the person was hacked. So, someone messaged here. Yep.
I mean, you've got a bot on Discord that's just spamming everything out.
Yeah, great. I'll let him know that later. Okay. So, with that said, roll a d6 and let's see what happens during the night.
I suppose I'm the conscious one.
Yep. We're just going to let the dice decide. Okay. The night goes peacefully. Nothing happens. The knight continues his vigil. The morning dawns. And Betty is very well rested. You, however, are getting quite tired.
I have entertained myself by hammering a little ring that is needlessly complicated that I add details to pass the
Yeah,
time.
middle of a game.
Oh, I get that. Oh, gross.
It should be.
It's a big one.
What in the abyss?
Get him. Get it. Sorry, we had a bug that just like crawled on my desk and we were dealing with it.
Well, I missed it.
Yeah, we almost got it, but it ran away. So need to get the guys out to spray again.
I was down in my.
Okay. Sorry, that was my roommate. He had a question. All right, so we're back. Yes, so you were hammering away and I missed that last part.
Oh, it's just on the ring that I add details to pass the time.
Okay, I like it. All right, so Betty is up and at him, spry as she can ever be at her old age, and you guys are ready to continue onwards. And so your giant friend has left you. You have a carriage, and you can travel eastwards to continue on to the city.
Wake me if there's trouble.
Okay, so
Roll
we're.
up that.
I love it. All right, so we are imagining right now that we are traveling along this road. Betty, give me a perception roll just to see if you notice anything.
Fort. How did she get out of the fort?
Oh, it would just be
Oh,
to the
there it
west
is.
here.
I know. I was having trouble. Whoops. Is that the gate?
Yeah.
Okay, now do what?
Just imagine that we're already off the map and we're traveling along the road. You're leading the cart. You've got your barrels in the
Okay.
back. And give me a perception roll as I imagine you'd be watching for potential danger. All right, you are blissfully unaware.
Just bumbling down the road.
Okay. And so let me get the next scene set. Shouldn't take too terribly long. We're making good progress today. We've gone from a boat ride to a beach to a fort, and now we are traveling. Okay. Okay, let me move these over here. And grab one of these. Okay, let me activate the scene. All right, so you guys have been traveling for some distance now. It would appear that you, according to the crossroads with the night, that you have about just a mile's ride to get there. So it's not a particularly long trip, thankfully, but you do come upon a little bit of a problem. You see that there is a large river that has cut through the island and has made a very sheer cliff. And there is only apparently one way across that you can notice, at least at this vantage. That is a bridge. And there's a noticeably very large skeleton, about the same size as our giant friend, on the bridge. In fact, let me make him slightly bigger.
Oh, he looks menacing.
Yep. It is completely stoic, however, and it does not appear to be moving. Its eyes have little blue pinpricks in them, and it is just staring straight forwards.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you find yourselves.
Well, there's another one that was bound to me.
Yep, I got him.
We should attempt to speak to it. Maybe it is sapient.
Yep,
More
you would
things
know.
would be reasonable than you'd expect.
Yeah. And you know most undead that are skeletons have a mind. They have no soul, and they do have of course, body. And it's still just staring forwards, saying nothing. Has a large shield, no armor, and a sword.
Mm-hmm. Are you guarding this bridge?
Yes, it responds.
Do you accept payment for traveling past?
2,000 gold coin.
Does anyone pay that?
The ones that live.
Interesting, interesting. Who has appointed you to do this?
I am not at liberty to say.
I will pay you if you say.
I physically cannot say.
That is unfortunate.
Indeed, it is.
Alright, so, Betty, truth be told, I feel confident in my ability to throw this thing off of a bridge. I am very good at moving things.
And do your best.
Yeah. I suppose I should just do what I can. You can't resist your magical bonds for self-preservation, can you?
I wish I could, but I cannot. I am bound to the laws that bind my magical body.
Those bonds can't be disrupted in any way such that you can fight against them, can they?
Not without my demise, most likely.
Hmm.
The magic is my mind, you see.
Interesting, interesting. You would not mind if we sat there investigating you to better come to a decision, would you?
If you approach too close, I am required payment or your demise.
I understand. If that is all, very good. All right, I'm going
Very
to
well.
cast a Read Mind.
Okay. So you do read his thoughts, and they are currently completely blank, awaiting input, as it were.
Speak the name of your master.
Silith the Grey, it thinks.
All right, that seemed like a name. Um, how do you deliver your gold to your master?
By carrier pigeon.
Carrier pigeon. That's a lot of gold for a carrier pigeon.
Pigeon.
They must really enchant the hell out of that pigeon.
It is quite a fat bird, I will admit.
Do you have any last wills that you would like done in this world after you are destroyed in remembrance of your efforts?
I have no will.
Alright. Well, that does make me feel better. Alright, I'm going to rest for a bit. That was somewhat straining.
Okay. As it would be with a giant skeleton's mind. Not exactly deep, but vast.
Hmm. Alright. Betty, do you have any opinions on me trying to throw that skeleton off that bridge?
No, I think if you can do it, that's a good thing. It
Alright,
looks
so
really, really scary and big. I'm a little bit worried about your safety.
oh, it could kill us with a single swing of its sword. I would not stand a chance. But, well,
So, would it help if you were invisible?
Oh, I can be invisible on my own. No, it might help if you're invisible, though. This is going to get a bit spicy.
Do-do-do-do. Boop, boop.
Would it help if we were silent?
Uh, it would help if you have the ability to shrink a skeleton a little bit.
Let me see what I can do.
Oh, yes, of course.
The skeleton says, I heard that. Were I to not see nor hear you, I could be at no fault for letting you pass through unintentionally. And then you see one of its eyes blink a little bit as if to wink.
Interesting, interesting. If we just were on the other side past you, would you attack us?
I am honor bound to guard the bridge and nothing more.
Okay.
We're magically bound.
Betty, I can just teleport us and of all of our things to the other side of this bridge.
Okay.
No need to kill the evil skeleton, or really quite neutral skeleton. Lawful. But let's see, I'll just sort of boop. Do we have a wagon that we also are trying to get past?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is pretty big. It's going to be very hard for me to get the wagon. We'd have to dismantle it. Alright, let's see. I can push with telekinesis an object 6 range away, but the wagon's a very big object.
I would say it would still be within your capabilities with that ability.
Alright, so then. In that case, we're gonna have to get the wagon up here. And then I'm going to have to hurl it across with telekinesis.
Yes. Yeet.
Do you need a bit of inspiration?
That might become necessary in the moment.
I love
We
it.
should get the wine separate. It's too valuable to risk on the wagon throw.
Well, actually, the wine is part of my inspiration, so you might need to take some nips of it.
Well, hopefully not too much, or it'll defeat the point. All right. Getting the wagon up to this ridge, and then trying to throw it across the chasm with telekinesis.
I love it. So Betty uses her level 2 ability to give you advantage on your attempt. And we're just going to do a d6 roll, just a straight d6 to see what happens. Because this is one of those eventualities. All right, there's first roll.
Okay, well, here's my rolls
Oh.
for me doing it.
Oh, perfect.
I presume Betty has some degree of helping that is rolled, but all right. That's a successful hurl a thing across a chasm.
Not only was it successful, you land it and it comes to a perfect stop right here, exactly where you intended, and you feel quite pleased with yourself.
And it didn't spill a drop.
Didn't spill a drop.
That's good. Those drops are expensive.
Very.
All right. Well, I didn't have to murder a creature that does not live. That's always a good day. Well, it's usually a good day. It's good to have options. Yep. And then I will teleport myself over the edge in a more fancy way to get myself across.
Okay. Pick a spot.
And likewise for Betty.
Oh, that went really far. All right, let me reveal more of the map since you guys are there. Here we are. Reveal. Okay.
I'm going to have to rest for a bit. That was very taxing.
Okay. So you guys can see a bit more now that you're over here. You don't notice anything particularly concerning at this time. Skeleton is looking straight forward, has no intention or desires of its own, and thus will not be attacking you. And you are free to continue to explore.
Would you like a sip of wine for some energy?
That seems like it would be lovely.
Here you go. Betty White, Off White, she actually literally has little bottles of wine.
Like the kinds you get on like airplanes.
Calls them nips.
Yes, she calls them nymphs.
Yep.
All right.
My brain went to a dumb place. If you accidentally dropped one, would it be a nip slip? Sorry, couldn't resist. All right.
That looks like a spider web, a cocoon, and a backpack.
Yep. You see that from a distance. A bit concerning.
Where is this?
To the south of us.
Oh, I couldn't see it from where I was.
Well, I suppose I'm going to just, with some very strong telekinesis over a backpack to us.
Yep. Getting some good use out of that for sure. Go ahead and reveal the rest of the map for you guys, since you're already over here.
The round object in the middle of that, is that a spider egg?
I have no idea, but I am a bit worried about it. What's in the backpack that I awkwardly drag towards me several spaces at a time?
Looks like a map.
So you bring the backpack over to you,
That
and
is a roll.
you reach into it, and it feels deeper than it should. And you pull out a moldy pie.
Ew.
Definitely has seen better days. You pull out some very nice jerky that looks to be well preserved. And you keep reaching in, and like I said, it just feels like it goes deeper and deeper, and you just keep pulling out stuff. And after a while, you've got a nice little pile of stuff all around you.
Sounds magical.
Oh, very much so. I wonder if it can fit the one.
Unfortunately, the circumference of it would not allow a barrel to be put through it. You could try pouring it in, but that would be quite messy.
Ugh.
It's a wine bag, so that would be
Maybe
funny.
we poured a river into it first. Just clear it out a bit.
Yeah, get rid of the mold.
But,
So do you
all right.
telekinesis it down to the river?
Well, what do you think is the best way to make sure that any spiders lurking over there don't immediately ambush us? Or whatever's in that?
Well, there's a round object in the spider web that looks kind of like a spider egg that's already opened,
Yeah,
and it looks empty.
could be.
Go ahead and roll a perception check. Let's see if you notice anything else about it.
There's another object on the ground,
It's a rock.
and it's a rock. It looks like a mask
Kind of does.
because it looks like it has two eyes, a nose, and a mouth.
It kind of does almost. Let me zoom in a little closer. Oh, that's actually like a pottery thing, if I remember correctly.
Is that a face?
No, it's got like a hole in it right here, right in the middle, and then it's got some other stuff around it. I think it's supposed to be like a burlap sack. I think that's what it is, actually, yeah. It's kind of hard to tell from the program that I made this map with.
See the round object in the spider's nest?
Yep, there is definitely a cocoon that has burst open, and you guys do, in the tree right beside you, notice something kind of lurking, and
Oh,
it has not aggressively attacked you yet, but it is certainly staring in your direction.
is that the mama or what was in the cocoon?
Perhaps both, who knows?
Hmm. I have a funny plan for this one.
Let's hear.
So let's just back up a little bit awkwardly, and I'm just going to teleport that spider onto that bridge.
Okay, I love it.
The skeleton, I love it.
That
All
is
right,
such a
and
good
I'm going to
idea.
be using some of my extra juice such that this is free and it's disadvantaged in its save.
Perfect. So it does not have strong mind, so it's only got a +1 to its save. And it
Disadvantage.
unfortunately does roll a 6, but it's disadvantaged, and that's a 2, so it fails. So it poof, poof, right over here, and they immediately begin a kaiju fight. And in very short order, the spider is slain and continues to be chopped into pieces and then kicked off into the river below and is washed away. That was a really fun way to beat that encounter. I love it.
Well,
That actually sounds like some of the stuff I've come up with
Yeah, that was
before.
really clever.
there can't be too many spiders if the spiders are that large, so I don't know, I'm feeling pretty brazen right now as I go through this stuff to see if there's any remainders of the person who was eaten here.
Oh, very much
Okay.
so. And they do have a few magical implements on them. One of them has a bracers of bonus defense. They give you +1 armor, in addition to the normal +2, or sorry, +1 defense in addition to the normal +2 that bracers would give you. Fan bracers, rather.
Sure. Uh, I mean, I'm certainly inclined to take them, but if Betty wants them, I'm not going to fight on the matter.
No, I think you would have better use of them than I would.
Cool
Shrugs,
beans.
puts on some bracers.
All
All
right.
right, well, looks like the path is clear, although it's not so much of a path as it used to be now that we're heading east. The wagon will have a difficult time of it now.
Yep, you could probably make it through this pass right through here. And so
Yeah,
you
well,
guys manage to try to navigate your way through the wilderness with your cart in tow. Go ahead and give me a survival roll, and let's see how well you do. And that is a blah 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 blah, a spirit roll. Ooh, perfect. So you guys managed to avoid several encounters with various beasts along the way. Betty befriends a few of them with the befriend spell to or chant to prevent them from being aggressive. There was a big bear at one point, but you safely make it to the town. And since it is approaching 8 o'clock, we can go ahead and end it there. And we
sure.
can pick up next time at the city, which I'll actually have a map for. So, as always, we have our 3 questions. We'll start with Betty. Thing you liked the most or thought was coolest about your character, or cool moment that happened, thing you wish was improved, and
I
thing
love
you
this.
learned.
I love this. My favorite part was the spider on the bridge. I love that.
Yeah, that was super creative. I like that too.
Um, I still need to learn more about my spells.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of time to go over that before the game, unfortunately, because we both got busy.
Yep, because I had such a busy week.
Yeah.
Um,
You did use
or
the
actually,
befriend spell, though. That was actually pretty clever.
yeah.
You
But
stopped the
I
Kraken
just
from attacking everybody.
yep. I just want to get more proficient. But I like the map. So
Lots of
there
good
wasn't
color. I know you love
there
color.
wasn't anything I didn't.
Okay. I guess the negative would have just been having more time to learn your spells and maybe a few more
Yeah.
situations to use them. So, all right. So our enchanter, man of the hour, who pulled off a lot of cool stuff. Let's hear your feedback.
Oh, I mean, like, honestly, I enjoyed our giant friend character. They seem to have, like, a reasonably put together concept, which I generally approved of.
Yeah.
Um, in terms of negatives, I suppose, it was all fairly easy for me. Um, there wasn't a lot of tension, and I did feel though that like if there was tension, I'd just instantly die. So it was a bit of a weird feeling on that front.
Yeah, it was like if something bad happened, it was going to be very bad, but you guys circumnavigated the bad to not have bad happen. So you used your abilities really intelligently and were very cautious about how you proceeded, and so definitely earned every bit of your safe passage. And I personally liked how the dice got to decide a lot of the story today as well, because I was willing to go with whatever happened with that one roll. It was either going to be a big ambush on the fort. If it was a one, it was going to be a smaller kind of thing. If it was a 2 to 5, and it was going to be a clean shot if it was not a six. And so you guys ended up getting a clean shot with the six. So, and I guess thing you learn, probably just not really too much maybe, or maybe that teleport spell is like hella good.
Well, honestly, like, what's too good in this circumstance, realistically, is one, a lack of restriction about placement, because I could have just pushed things off ledges, and you probably would just have them fall.
Did I not put something about a surface on that one? I might have.
It certainly wasn't obvious. But
I'll have to go double
more
check.
more critically, I feel you were generally willing to go along with things without like the enemy attempting to contest in any way. So if it worked, given that they didn't contest, I just won.
Yeah. A lot of it was just the resist rolls on them were really terrible too. I think both of them were twos. And so that's a little bit of the dice telling you the story there too. It would be hard for them to resist you though, just because your resist potency is quite high. Um,
Well, it's mostly the save or suck advantage because
yeah,
they're rolling two dice on anything good that I do, and anything good I do is disabling more than half of the enemies.
yeah, for sure. So that's definitely something that enchanters are experts at. Like if if we were to look at every class in the game, they're by far the best at disabling enemies. So that part works fine. Um, it's just in circumstances where there are larger groups of enemies or more spread out enemies, I think it would feel a little less like an auto win condition. But certainly you've managed to just turn that encounter into a very, very easy one to win. But also the Kraken did too, because the Kraken took, you know, all of the damage of the first round from them. So it was a bit of a mixture between just really smart play and just unfortunate enemy positioning, I think. So, but yeah, overall, I'm pleased. I thought it was pretty good. And we can probably just call it there since we got about 4 minutes left. Thank you again both so much for showing up and for playing. And hopefully we can play more like on Thursday. Do you know if you'll be busy Thursday, Mom?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I will almost certainly be busy myself.
Okay. And so, for Mom, do you one thing to ask? Are you preferring the 2 hour sessions to the 4 hour sessions, or how do you feel about session length?
Well, probably two to no more than three.
Okay. So if we have
But
more people and it's
one thing you need to think about for Thursday, that's July 4th.
yes, so a lot of people will be busy. So it's International Give Your Dog PTSD Day.
Well,
That's how it works at my house.
in any
Yeah.
event, I'm going to be heading off, so have a good one.
Appreciate you, sir. Have a good one. All
Hmm.
right, and we'll end the stream there. Thank you guys so much for watching, if you are in fact watching. And if you watch this at a later date, well, thank you for watching. Have a good one.